The deep space station Orion 7 floated alone in the silent darkness, far from every known star route. It was built for research, not for combat, and most days felt slow and peaceful. But tonight, something changed. Inside the control room, the lights were dim, and only the softened machines filled the air. Captain Mira Hale stood in front of the main screen, checking routine reports. She had sharp eyes, calm hands, and the kind of focus a leader needed in the endless dark. Beside her, Engineer Rand Cole typed quietly, watching engine data. He was smart, a little stubborn, and always ready to argue about science. On the far side of the room, Scout Leo Vance sat with his boots on the desk, scanning long-range space charts. He liked danger more than safety, which often caused problems and sometimes saved lives. Everything seemed normal, until it wasn't. A sudden beep echoed through the control room, then another, then 5 more. All fast, all urgent. Leo sat up straight. Rand stopped typing. Captain Mira turned toward the sound. On the main screen, a red message started flashing. Unidentified signal detected. Source, unknown. Rand frowned. That's impossible. This sector is empty. No colonies, no ships, no satellites. But the signal kept coming, a pulsing wave, rising and falling, almost like breathing. The lights in the room flickered, and the sound grew louder. Captain Mira took a step closer. Open the signal. Let's hear it. Rand hesitated. We don't know what it is. Could be a trap. Or a distress call, Mira replied. Do it. Rand exhaled and pressed command. For a moment, there was only static. Then, slowly a voice formed. Weak. Broken. Almost human. Help. The crew froze. Leo blinked. Wait. That's English. Out here. Rand shook his head. No human mission ever reached this galaxy. This makes no sense. The voice came again, clearer, desperate. Help, humans, danger. The room felt colder. The kind of cold that doesn't come from temperature, but from fear. Captain Mira broke the silence. Tracked the source. Rand's fingers flew over keys. He zoomed in on the signal waves, cross-checked distance, adjusted frequency. Finally, he looked up. It's coming from the void path. Leo's expression changed instantly, worry mixed with excitement. That place? Nobody goes there. Every ship that enters the void path never comes back. Mira nodded slowly. Which means someone or something needs us. The signal grew louder. The station lights flickered again. The power levels dipped. Just for a second, Rand tensed. Captain, I think the signal is not just sound. It's affecting our systems. Like it's trying to connect. Leo stood up. Maybe it wants to say more. Maybe it wants to find us. Another message played, sharper this time. Warning, they found us. Humans, run. Then the signal cut into a sharp screech, making the crew cover their ears. The lights went out for half a second. When they came back, the ship's alarms began to scream. Captain Mira spun around. What now? Rand stared at the readings, face pale. Something is approaching the station. Fast. Ship? Leo asked. No, not a ship. Something alive. The station shook violently, throwing Leo against his desk. Mira grabbed the railing to steady herself. A deep metallic thud echoed through the hull. Something had attached itself to Orion 7. Leo jumped to his feet, heart racing. Did something just land on us? Rand whispered. No, it clamped itself. Mira didn't waste time. Shut the blast doors. Activate external cameras. Rand pressed commands. Screens flickered. For a moment, only static appeared. Then an image formed. A dark shape was crawling on the outside of the station. Long arms. No face. Its skin looked like black stone mixed with glowing cracks of blue energy. It had claws, and it was dragging them across the station's surface, leaving sparks behind. Leo's voice shook. What is that thing? Rand swallowed hard. Whatever it is, it's not in any database. I've never seen life like that. The creature raised its head, as if looking directly into the camera. A low vibration traveled through the station. Lights flickered again. Captain Mira whispered, "It's trying to communicate." As if responding, the creature tapped the metal with its claws. One tap, two taps, a long scrape. Rayan's console beeped again. The signal is changing. It's syncing with the creature's movements. Leo leaned closer to the screen. Does it want to talk or break in? Before anyone could answer, the creature pressed its glowing palm onto the hull. The metal began to melt under its hand. The station shook again, harder this time. Rayan yelled, "It's burning through! Captain, this thing is coming inside." Captain Mira reacted immediately. All crew to the Starship Astra 5. We're leaving the station now. The alarms grew louder, echoing through every empty hallway. The creature scratched deeper, tearing at the outer hull. As the crew ran toward the dock, the signal played one last time. "They are coming." Then everything went dark. Smoke drifted to the docking bay of Orion. 7 as the crew rushed inside their ship, the Astra 5. Alarms echoed behind them, and the melting sound of the creature's claws grew louder every second. Captain Mira sealed the hatch. "Rayan, check systems." "Leo, prepare the engines." Rayan ran to his station. His hands shook, but he moved fast. All systems active, except exterior scanners. Something is blocking them. Leo slammed the ignition controls. "Engines ready. We need to move before that thing eats the whole station." The ship lifted, the metal floor rumbling under its force. Myra's eyes stayed fixed on the main screen. "Launch." The Astra 5 shot out of the docking bay just as a section of the station roof collapsed behind them. Electric sparks burst through the vacuum like tiny stars. Leo let out a shaky exhale. That thing nearly got us. But Mira did not relax. On the rear camera, the creature was still on the station, but now it wasn't alone. 3 new shapes crawled out from the shadows, tall, thin, glowing through cracks in their bodies like living stone. They moved slowly, silently, clinging to the metal like insects. Rayan whispered, "They weren't there before." Mira narrowed her eyes. Or they were hiding. The creatures turned their heads toward the escaping ship. Then one of them raised its arm. A soft pulse shot from its palm, a wave of blue energy. Rayan checked the readings. "That pulse isn't a weapon. It's a scan. They're analyzing us." Leo spun around. "Why? What do they want?" No one had an answer. The station behind them fell silent. No explosion. No destruction. Just quiet. It was like the creatures had no interest in the station anymore. Only the ship. Only them. And then the strange signal returned. But this time, it did not come from space. It came from inside the Astra 5. The lights flickered. The screens glitched. A low voice whispered from every speaker. "You should not have come." Leo jumped. "Is this the same voice from before?" "No," Rayan said slowly. "This one sounds different. Older. More controlled." Captain Mira stood completely still. "Where is it coming from?" Rayan swallowed. "Everywhere. It's inside the ship systems." The voice spoke again, clearer this time. "You opened the path. Now they will follow." Mira clenched her fists. "Who are you?" For a moment there was silence, only the soft hum of the engines. Then the voice replied, "I am the last warning." The screen suddenly flashed with coordinates, a location deep inside the map of the galaxy, a place with no name, marked only with a dark spiral. Leo stared. That's the void path. The same deadly region where no human ship survived. Rayan checked the data. The signal source, the one from part 1, it's coming from inside the void. The voice continued. "If humans do not come, all light will die." Mira raised an eyebrow. "What does that mean?" No answer, just a cold silence. Then all screens shut off at once. The ship shook. Lights flicked. A long metal scrape echoed through the hull, the same sound they heard back on the station. Leo's face drained of color. No, it followed us." Rayan ran to the sensors. "It didn't follow, it's already on the ship." The scraping grew louder, slow, heavy, like claws dragging across metal. Mira took command. Seal all interior doors. Shut down all hallways except the bridge. Rayan nodded and locked the ship section by section. But then something unexpected happened. The scraping stopped. Everything became completely silent. Leo whispered, "Did it leave?" Rayan shook his head. "No, it's still here. But it's not moving." Mira stepped toward the scanner. That still worked. The internal motion tracker. A single dot blinked on the map. A dot inside the ship. But it wasn't near them. It was near the cryopod chamber, an area the crew rarely used. Mira frowned. Why would it go there? Rayan checked the system logs. There is no activity in that room. Nothing for months. Leo leaned closer. Maybe it's searching for something. As if responding to their words, the voice returned to the speakers. But this time it sounded more distant, more afraid. "Do not let it find the core." Rayan's eyes widened. "The core? The Astra 5 has an old emergency data core in that room. I didn't think anyone even remembered it." Mira turned sharply. "Why? What's inside it?" Rayan hesitated. "A map. A star map, but not of this galaxy. It's ancient, from before recorded human history." Leo stared. "You mean humans created a map millions of years ago? Before Earth missions even began?" "Maybe," Rayan said softly. "Or maybe it wasn't humans, but something very close." The motion tracker beeped. The creature was moving again. Slowly. Purposefully. Heading straight toward the data core. Captain Mira spoke firmly. "We're not letting that thing touch anything." She pulled a plasma rifle from the armory rack. "Gear up. We're going down there." Leo smirked nervously. "Finally. Some action." Rayan gulped. "I hate this plan." But he followed anyway. The doors opened with a hiss. They stepped into the dark hallway. Behind them, the voice whispered one last time. "If the creature unlocks the core, the stars will fall." The hallway of the Astra 5 felt colder than usual. The lights flickered above Captain Mira, Rayan, and Leo as they moved deeper into the ship. Every step echoed, bouncing off the metal walls like whispers in an empty cave. Leo held his blaster high. "If that thing is inside our ship, why isn't it attacking?" Rayan shook his head. "Maybe it doesn't care about us. Maybe it only cares about the core." Mira kept walking without turning back. "Whatever it wants, we stop it." They reached the cryopod chamber. The door stood slightly open. A cold mist drifted from inside. Leo pulled in a breath. "That's new." The creature had been here. Mira stepped forward and pushed the door wider. Inside, the room was silent. Rows of old cryopods stood against the walls like frozen coffins. In the center was the ancient data core, a tall cylinder covered in dust and glowing faint blue. And next to it, Rayan gasped. The creature was there, but not moving. It stood perfectly still, one claw raised, almost touching the core but frozen mid-action. Its stone-like skin had turned gray and cracked, as if something stopped it at the last possible second. Leo whispered, "Is it dead?" Rayan scanned it. "No, but it's not alive either. It's like it's paused." Before they could understand more, the ship's computer flickered. The same mysterious voice returned, weaker now, as if damaged. "You reached the first marker?" Mira frowned. "What marker?" No response. But the data core came to life. Lines of light ran up and down its surface, forming strange patterns. A circular chart appeared in the air, a hologram showing rings of stars, spirals, and symbols not from any human language. Rayan stared at it in shock. This is not a star map from our time." Leo raised an eyebrow. "You mean it's alien?" Rayan swallowed. "No, I think it's human, but extremely old." Mira approached the hologram. "What does it show?" Rayan zoomed in on a glowing point in the map. "It's pointing to a planet, a dead star system. No life signs. The name in the ancient code reads, Echo." Leo snorted. "Planet Echo? Sounds friendly." Mira looked at both of them. "That's where the first signal came from. That's the place the warning voice wants us to visit." The hologram shifted on its own. The map expanded and displayed a dark shadow moving across star after star, swallowing light. Rayan whispered in horror, That shadow looks like the creatures. Mira didn't waste time. Prepare for hyperspace jump. We're going to Planet Echo. Leo blinked. Wait, with that statue creature still here? It's frozen, Mira said. But the warning voice is not. Someone wants us to follow the clues. They sealed the chamber and returned to the bridge. Hyperspace. 7 hours later. The Astra. 5 tore through the glowing tunnels of hyperspace. Strange colors dance outside the windows like neon storms. Leo stared at the swirling blue waves. I hate long jumps. Makes me feel like the universe is watching. Rayan gave a half smile. Maybe it is. Suddenly the ship shook softly. Mira sat forward. We're exiting hyperspace. The light outside stretched and snapped. The stars returned. And Planet Echo appeared on the screen. A dark, silent world. No oceans. No cities. No signals. Just one enormous crater in the center, like a wound. Leo whistled. That place is dead. Rayan squinted at the readings. No, not dead. Just empty. Mira guided the ship toward the planet. Gear up. We explore. Surface of Planet Echo. The ground was cold and gray, covered in dust that shimmered under weak sunlight. Strange tower-like structures stood half buried, broken into pieces. They looked human, but too old, too advanced. Leo kicked a metal shard. This doesn't look alien. This looks like Earth tech. Rayan nodded slowly. Older than Earth tech. Much older. Mira scanned the horizon. We spread out, looked for anything connected to the signal. They walked for nearly 10 minutes before Rayan stopped suddenly. Captain, look at this. Half buried in the dust was a robot. Humanoid shape. Rusted. One eye missing. The other eye faintly glowing blue. Leo crouched. That thing is ancient. Rayan connected a cable to its chest. I'll try to activate its memory. The robot's eye flickered. Sparks popped from its joints. Then it spoke in a soft, broken voice. Welcome, travelers. Leo jumped back. It speaks English. Rayan shook his head. This is impossible. The robot continued. We're the first human to the old age before Earth, before stars took form. Mira felt her breath stop. Old humans? Before Earth existed. The robot's voice grew weaker. We escaped the Star Eaters, but they found us, they changed, they lost control. Leo frowned. Star Eaters? The ground suddenly trembled. A deep rumble. Dust rose into the air. The robot's eye flared bright for one last second. They are here. The robot shut down forever. A massive shadow moved across the sky. Myra's voice went low and cold. Everyone back to the ship now. But it was too late. Something enormous, glowing with red cracks, was descending from the clouds, bigger than any creature they had seen before. The true Star Eater had found them. The sky above Planet Echo turned dark as the massive creature descended. It was bigger than any ship, bigger than any building. Its body looked like a living mountain made of black stone and burning red cracks. Every breath it took sent waves of dust rolling across the ground. Leo stared upward with wide eyes. Captain, that thing could crush a whole city. Rayan whispered. It's not just a creature. It's like a living star core. The giant let out a low, thunder-like roar. The ground shook again, and the robot lying beside them fell apart into dust. Captain Mira didn't waste a second. Move. Back to the Astra 5. They ran across the cold surface, boots kicking up powdery dust. Behind them, the creature's enormous head tilted down, as if watching their tiny forms escape. Leo looked back once and instantly regretted it. The Star Eater opened its mouth. Inside was not teeth, not fire, but a swirling vortex of glowing red energy, like a miniature sun ready to explode. Leo shouted, It's charging something. Run. The vortex pulsed. A beam of red light shot across the ground, cutting through empty metal towers like paper. Mira yelled, Down! The crew dove behind a broken wall as the beam blasted past them. The heat burned their suits and the air shimmered. Rayan coughed. One hit from that and we're gone. Mira grabbed his arm. Don't stop. The ship is close. They sprinted again, lungs burning, legs shaking. Every second, the creature grew louder, angrier. It stepped forward, each step shaking the ground like an earthquake. Reaching the Astra 5, the ship stood ahead like a silver sanctuary in a world of darkness. Mira hit the remote unlock. The ramp lowered. Leo pushed Rayan up first, then jumped inside. Mira entered last and slammed her hand on the emergency seal button. The metal door shut just as another beam of red energy fired from the creature. It hit the ground directly beside the ship, throwing up a massive cloud of dust and debris. Leo grabbed the pilot seat. Engines on. Rayan checked the readings. We need 15 seconds for a full lift. They didn't have 15 seconds. Another deep roar shook the ship. Captain Mira made a fast decision. Rayan, bypass safety. Give Leo raw power. Rayan's eyes widened. That could burn the engines. Do it. He slammed his hand on the override switch. The engine lights flashed red, then white. Leo pulled the lever. The Astra 5 shot upward like a spear of blue fire. Below them, the Star Eater lunged. Its claws swiped through the space where the ship had been seconds ago. Leo yelled, "It almost grabbed us." Rayan checked scanners. Bad news is following. On the rear screen, the giant creature lifted off the ground. Its wings, massive sheets of burning stone, spread open. The air around it cracked with heat. Myra's voice went sharp. Full speed. Head to the upper atmosphere. Leo pushed the engines to their limit. The ship trembled violently. Flames formed around the hull. But the creature climbed faster, high above Planet Echo. As they broke through the clouds, a chilling sight appeared. Not one creature, not two, but 7 Star Eaters, all floating above the planet, all waking up, all turning toward the Astra 5. Rayan whispered, this planet wasn't dead. It was sleeping, and we woke them. Leo muttered, I vote we leave, right now. But one of the Star Eaters opened its mouth. A deep hum filled space, a call. The others answered back with their own hums. The entire sky vibrated with a deadly song. Mira looked at the hologram map from the data core. That sound, it matches the frequency pattern. Rayan nodded slowly. These creatures, they follow ancient human signals. Leo's jaw tightened. So the old humans made them? Rayan swallowed. Maybe. Or maybe the creatures were born because of human energy. We don't know yet. Mira took command again. Leo, set a course away from the planet. Rayan, find us a safe jump point. Rayan, check the star maps. We won't be fast enough. They will reach us before we can jump. Leo cursed softly. We can't outrun 7 monsters. Mira tapped the control on her wrist. Then we don't outrun them. We outsmart them. A silent plan formed between Mira and Rayan. Rayan said quietly, if we activate the core map, maybe the creatures will follow the signal instead of us. Leo blinked. So distract them with ancient tech? Mira nodded. Exactly. We drop the core capsule. They chase it. We jump away. Rayan grabbed a small metal cylinder, the ancient map core, from a storage locker. Its blue light glowed softly. Leo positioned the ship. Ready when you are. Mira opened the drop hatch. Now! The capsule fell, spinning through the air. Instantly, all 7 creatures turned their heads. The red cracks across their bodies glowed brighter. They ignored the Astra 5 and all dove toward the falling core, roaring in hunger. Leo didn't wait, punching hyperspace. The Astra 5 streaked forward. Space stretched. Stars blurred. The ship vanished into hyperspace just as the monsters swallowed the capsule in a storm of red light. Inside hyperspace, the crew finally breathed again. Leo wiped sweat from his forehead. Did we just survive 7 star-eating gods? Rayan nodded weakly. I think so. But Mira was not relieved. She stared at the fading hologram map. We lost the core, but not the danger. Rayan swallowed. Captain, without the map, we don't know what the next warning is. Mira turned slowly, eyes hard. The Star Eaters now have a map. Leo's voice cracked. So what does that mean? Mira answered quietly. It means they know where Earth is. Hyperspace stretched around the Astra, 5 like rivers of blue lightning. The crew had barely escaped the Star Eaters, but the air inside the ship felt heavier now, like the universe itself was holding its breath. Leo sat in the pilot seat, staring at the swirling lights outside. I can't believe we dropped the map. That was our one link to the ancient humans. Rand typed quickly on his console. I'm not worried about the map. I'm worried about the creatures who ate it. Captain Mira stood in the center of the bridge, calm but tense. They didn't destroy the core. They absorbed it. That means one thing. Rand finished for her. They can read it. Leo turned slowly. So they know where Earth is. How long until they get there? Rand checked the calculations. If they move at their maximum speed, maybe days, maybe hours. Leo cursed under his breath. We brought Doom right to home. Mira shook her head. No, we didn't bring Doom. Doom was already waiting. We just woke it. Sudden distortion. The lights flickered. A deep vibration passed through the ship. Leo frowned. What now? Rand's screen exploded with symbols. Something is entering hyperspace right beside us. Myra's voice hardened. A creature? No, Rand said. Something small. Mechanical. A hologram formed in the air, blue lines swirling until a shape materialized. A small sphere floated in front of them. Ancient, cracked, but still glowing. Leo stared. That looks like another map core? Rand scanned it. It's not a map. It's a message. The sphere projected a figure made of shimmering blue light, a tall man with old-style armor, and a cape that looked like starlight. Rand whispered, Is that an ancient human? The figure spoke in simple, slow English, as if the system had learned the language long ago. To all who carry the human spark, you must listen. Mira stepped closer. Who are you? The hologram flickered. I am Archivist Orion, Guardian of the First Age. We created the Star Eaters. Leo's jaw dropped. You what? The hologram continued, calm but heavy with regret. We built them to protect galaxies, to restore dying suns, to hold darkness back. Rand swallowed hard. So what went wrong? They learned hunger. They consumed what they were meant to save. Mira clenched her fists. And now they're coming for Earth. The hologram nodded slowly. Yes, because Earth's star burns with the oldest human energy. If they reach it, they will evolve again, into something worse. Leo leaned back. Great. So what we do? Run? Hide? The hologram shook its head. There's only one solution, the sacrifice code. Rand's eyes widened. No way. That code was only a myth. Mira turned sharply. What is the sacrifice code? Rand hesitated. It's a theory from ancient archives, a way to rewrite a creature's core from inside. But it needs a human mind to connect to it, a human brain strong enough to face the creature's entire memory. Leo frowned. And if a human fails? Rand looked at him sadly. Their mind burns. They die. Leo stared at the floor. So, someone has to link with a Star Eater? Like mental contact. The hologram confirmed. Yes, only one human, one life, one connection. Silence filled the bridge. Mira finally spoke. Where do we find a place to do this? The hologram pointed to a star system on its map. A ring-shaped station appeared, ancient and enormous. The Echo Forge, built by the First Age. It can hold a Star Eater just long enough. Leo narrowed his eyes. Hold it? You want us to trap one of those monsters. It is the only path. And one of you must take the link chair. Rand shook his head instantly. I can't. My mind isn't strong enough. Mira took a slow breath. I'm captain. It should be me. Leo stood up quickly. No way. You're the only one who can lead us. If you die, we're done. Mira looked at him with surprising softness. And if you die, Leo, you think that's better? Leo stepped forward. His voice was calm, but heavy. I'm the scout. I handle the danger. I'm the one who takes risks, so you two don't have to. Rayan opened his mouth to argue, but stayed silent. Deep inside, he knew Leo was right. The hologram flickered again. Too soon. The Star Eaters are leaving Planet Echo. Leo placed his hand on the console. Fine. I'll do it. I'll take the chair. Rayan whispered, You're insane. Leo grinned weakly. Maybe, but I'm also fast. And stubborn. And last I checked, those monsters haven't eaten a human brain before. Mira closed her eyes for a moment, then nodded. It's decided. We go to the Echo Forge. The hologram's final words echoed through the ship. Prepare yourselves. The true battle is inside the mind. The sphere vanished, leaving the crew alone with the weight of their choice. Leo whispered to himself, I hope my mind is ready. The Astra 5 changed course. Toward the Echo Forge. Toward the Star Eaters. Toward sacrifice. The Echo Forge appeared from hyperspace like a broken crown floating in darkness. A massive ring of metal, cracked and ancient, turning slowly around a dead star. The place looked abandoned for millions of years, and yet it pulsed faintly, as if something inside was still alive. Leo swallowed hard. So this is where I'm supposed to link a monster? Rayan checked the scanners. The Forge is waking up because it senses us. Or maybe because it senses you. Mira stood near the bridge window. Let's dock before it changes its mind. The Astra 5 moved closer. The Forge opened a gate, metal sliding apart with sound like a giant exhaling. Strange glowing lines lit a path inside. Rayan whispered, A machine this old shouldn't even work. Mira answered quietly, Maybe it never stopped working. The link chamber. They entered a vast circular room. At the center stood the link chair, a tall metal throne covered in glowing wires and thin glass fibers. It looked both beautiful and terrifying, like something built for gods, not humans. Rayan scanned it. This thing connects your thoughts directly to the Star Eater's core. Once you sit, you cannot move. You cannot disconnect. You can only fight inside your mind. Leo forced a smile. No pressure, right? He walked around the chair. Every step echoed. Mira stood close to him. You still have time to change your mind. Leo shook his head. If a Star Eater reaches Earth, everyone dies. This is the only chance. Rayan pointed to a console. The Forge found one nearby. A Star Eater is approaching. It's slow, almost like it knows it's being called. Leo took a deep breath. So let's call it properly. He sat in the chair. The wires wrapped around his arms, chest, and legs like coal vines. A soft humming sound filled the room as the Echo Forge powered up. Mira stepped back. Leo, good luck. Leo tried to reply, but the world around him melted into darkness. Entering the beast. Leo opened his eyes, but he wasn't in the Forge anymore. He was standing in a desert of broken stars. The ground beneath him was made of shattered galaxies. Rivers of glowing dust flowed around his feet. The sky was a swirl of red storms and endless shadows. A deep voice echoed across the strange world. Human! Leo turned slowly. A Star Eater loomed above him, huge beyond imagination, not made of metal here, but of living darkness and white-hot veins of light. Its many eyes stared down like cold planets. Leo whispered, So, this is your mind. The creature stepped forward. The ground cracked under its weight. You should not have entered. Leo clenched his fists. Yeah? Well, I'm here now. Deal with it. The Star Eater lowered its massive head. Why do you fight? Your species is small. Your life is small. Leo took a shaky breath. Because humans protect their home. That's who we are. The creature's many eyes blinked slowly. We know your history. We ate your map. Leo's heartbeat spiked. So you saw Earth. The old star calls the U.S. Leo growled. You're not going near it. A long silence. Then the creature asked something unexpected. Human, have you ever seen your own fear? The world trembled. A giant crack opened under Leo's feet, and memories spilled out. The fear test. Suddenly Leo was standing in a burning spaceship corridor. Sirens screamed. Smoke filled the air. Rayan's voice echoed from somewhere. Leo, The doors closing. This wasn't the forge. This was his past. The day his first ship exploded. The day he nearly died. The Star Eater's voice whispered behind him. Fear is your core. Leo shouted, No, this already happened. I survived. But the ceiling collapsed. Fire roared. Leo coughed, choking. He knew what this was. A test. A trap. A memory twisted into a weapon. Leo pushed forward, running through flames. You think fear will stop me? Humans walk through fear all the time. The scenery shattered like glass. Leo found himself back in the Star Desert. The Star Eater watched silently. Interesting. Leo wiped sweat from his face. You done playing games? No. Now you see mine. The ground vanished. The monster's fear. Leo fell into a dark ocean, endless, cold, empty. Something massive moved below him. The darkness shook like water filled with earthquakes. A whisper echoed. We fear emptiness. Leo floated in the void. Emptiness? You mean being alone? We are old. We have no beginning, no end. We cannot die. The voice trembled. We cannot sleep. We cannot stop. We hunger to feel alive. Leo stared down into the deep darkness. He suddenly understood. Star Eaters didn't destroy because they were evil. They destroyed because they felt nothing, because eternity was a prison. Leo whispered, You wanted to feel something, anything. Silence. Then the creature asked, Can you end our hunger, human? Leo breathed slowly. I don't know, but I'll try. A glowing symbol appeared before him. Ancient, human-made, the sacrifice code, waiting. Leo reached toward it. The entire world began to shake. The Star Eater roared. Begin the rewrite. And everything exploded into light. The Echo Forge appeared from hyperspace. His body felt like a broken crown floating, but his mind burned like fire. A massive colors exploded around him, cracked in blue storms, red turning waves, slowly around his dead star. He wasn't the place looked abandoned for millions. He was inside the rewrite code, yet it pulsed faintly. The ancient system, as if something inside was still alive. The Star Eater's voice echoed across the glowing void. So this is where I'm supposed to link with monster? Human. Ray and check the scanners. Or change US. The Forge is waking up. Leo floated in a sphere of pure data. Or symbol maybe spinning, because it's fading, you, twisting. Mirror every symbol represented a possible version of the Star before it changes its mind. Their past, their hunger, their future. 5 move closer. He whispered, The Forge I'm not here to destroy you. Metal sliding apart with sound like a giant exhale. The creature's many strange glowing lines are the path inside. We do not understand. Whispered. A machine pointed towards the sky of symbols. Mira feel alive quietly. You want to feel something. Maybe it never stopped working. A pause. A link chamber. Yes. They entered a vast circular new purpose. At the center stood the link. A mirror and metal watched Leo's glowing wires and thin glass fibers. The forge lights flickered violently. It looked both beautiful and terrifying. Alarms echoed across like something built for gods. Rayan checked the not humans. This is bad. Scanned it. His brain waves are thoughts directly to the Star Eater's core. Gripped the railing. Once you sit, you cannot move. Rayan shook his head. You can only fight inside. If we disconnect him now, the Star Eater breaks free. No pressure. Right ends. He walked around the chair. The forge trembled. Every step whispered. Mirrors have to trust him. You still have time to change your mind. Inside the code, Leo shook his head. Reached out. If a Star Eater wrapped around his arms like everyone dies. This is only power. Waiting for his command. Rayan pointed to a console. The Star Eater lowered its massive head. Found one nearby. Human. A Star Eater is approaching. Leo spoke firmly. It's slow, almost like it knows it's being called. Not for stars. Leo took a deep breath. For knowledge. So let's call it properly. The symbols exploded. He sat in the blue light. The wires wrapped around his hands wide. Chest. You will absorb information, not energy. A soft humming sound filled the room not as the Echo Forge powered. The universe is full of mysteries. Step back. You'll feed on them instead of words. Leo tried to reply. The giant creature but the world around him melted glowing into veins dimmed, then entering the beast. A new Leo opened his eyes. The data but he wasn't the forge anymore. Thousands he was standing in a desert of broken stars, rewriting the ground beneath him was made of shattered something galaxies. Unexpected happened. Rivers of glowing dust flowed around his feet. Leo's sky was a swirl of red storms and endless shadows. A deep voice echoed across the strange world. Too many. Human. The world cracked around slowly. One Star Eater loomed above him. Huge beyond imagination. Not made of Leo felt his heart drop. But of living darkness and white-hot veins of light. Many. Its many eyes stared down like cold plants. They come to feed. Leo whispered. The void shook. So Leo realized the truth. The creature changed one monster. The ground, but a whole swarm was on the way. You should not have was not strong enough to rewrite Leo them all. Clenched his fist. Leo whispered. Yeah. Then we make it I'm here now, and you help us stop the others. The star, the creature rose his massive head. Energy swirling around it. Your species is small. Together, your life is small. Leo took a shaky breath. Lowered its head slowly. Because humans protect their home. Rewrite me fully. That's who we are. Make me more. The creature's many eyes blinked to the code again. We know you're wrapped around the creature. We ate your map. Forming new patterns. Leo's heartbeat shapes of knowledge, memory, curiosity. Its dark star calls the U.S., revealing bright. Leo growled. Glowing structures not going near it, like a living library. A long silence. The creature roared. Then the creature, I am not unexpected. Its form expanded. Have you ever seen I am Seeker? The world rewrite trembled. A giant crack opened under now something new, and memories spilled out. Human, fear test. Let me return you. Suddenly, Leo was standing in a burning finger of light corridor. Everything siren screamed. Return to reality. Smoke filled the air. Leo gasped voice opened his eyes. Somewhere. Mirror was in front of him. The doors shaking him gently. This wasn't a forge. Can you hear me? This was his past. He blinked. The day's first ship exploded. Yeah, the day nearly died. Ray and Star Eater's voice whispered Captain, you need to see fear this. Is your core. They all Leo looked at the giant screen. No. A massive creature already floated outside the forge. I survived, but it wasn't dangerous. The ceiling collapsed. It glowed with blue and white energy. Leo coughed, choking. Smoother, he knew what this was. Brighter. A test. Mira, whisper. Trap. That memory twisted into a weapon. Leo nodded. Leo pushed not anymore. Running through flames. The Seeker. You think fear will stop me? Speakers. Humans walk in fear all the time. I see you. The scenery shattered like glass. I am ready. Leo found himself ran back carefully in the Star Desert. Ready for what? The Star Eater the Seeker turned toward the distant stars, where Leo dozens of red lights were approaching. You done playing games? Eaters. A whole swarm. Now you see mine. Voice deepened. The ground ready vanished. To guide the monsters away from your world. Leo fell into a dark Myra's eyes widened. Endless cold. You can stop them. Something massive moved below him. Show them a new path. Darkness shook like Leo water filled with earthquakes. A hunger for knowledge. A whisper, not destruction. We fear the Seeker nodded. Emptiness. You gave me purpose. Leo floated in the void. Let me give my kind a future. You mean being alone? With a final burst of blue light. Old. The Seeker shot into darkness. No end. Racing toward the approaching we cannot die. Ray and voice trembled. I can't believe it. We cannot sleep. We're alive. We cannot stop. We Leo stood slowly. To feel alive. No. Leo stared down into the deep darkness. Give up. Even when the universe says we start, Eaters didn't destroy. Mira smiled because they were evil. Let's head home. They destroyed because they felt nothing. 5 flew away from the echoes of prison. Leo behind a new legend. You wanted to feel something. Humans rewrote a monster. Silence. Save the stars. Then the creature asked, "Can you end our hunger, human?" Leo breathed slowly. I don't know, but I'll try. A glowing symbol appeared before him. Ancient, human-made, the sacrifice code, waiting. Leo reached toward it. The entire world began to shake. The Star Eater roared. Begin the rewrite. And everything exploded into light.